Ladies, gentlemen, Marines, we are here at the Nuevo County Ironwood Ranch. I mean that the Marines is their own special qualification of human being without gender. Why are they without gender? Because, for example, can you picture a Marine Corps menstrual cycle? What would that entail? That would be like anger exploding into the sun. What would Marine Corps menopause look like? That would be like 10,000 degrees hotter than the temperature of the sun. It just doesn't exist. They say that behind every Marine lies a very angry woman. What if it's a woman? That's angry squared. It just doesn't work at all. So therefore, it's ladies, gentlemen, Marines. About us, the Ironwood Ranch. What is the Ironwood Ranch? The Ironwood Ranch is the idea of veterans helping other veterans safely. We are veterans that move out into the community and try to go out into the modern day battlefield of our lives and say, hey, how you doing, et cetera, et cetera. About me, my name is Randy. You can call me Chaplain Randy. You can call me the dude. And what do I mean by the dude? Technically, the Ironwood Ranch is a dude ranch. That means that I am the dude and the Big Lebowski is awesome. So yeah, I'll be the dude. I've always wanted to put that on my business card. So whatever you're comfortable calling me, it doesn't matter. Am I doing Christian social work here? Yes, I absolutely am. What I am designed to do is I'm designed to go out into the field and create social work programs for veterans that they can accept, respond to, that they can feel good about, and that they can laugh at, literally. If they laugh at anything that I do, that's completely and totally fine. I attempt to use humor as a source of banter towards talking about issues that should not be discussed. Anyways, I'm getting off topic here. About the Ironwood Ranch, we got 3 different social work programs. Each week we try to focus on a different social work program. We've got Operation Bullshit. That's veterans going foxhole to foxhole, visiting veterans out in the wild, in their homes, and in businesses, or here at the ranch. We have the Operation Gold Star. That's where once per year we're attempting to restore an old classic hot rod and give that to a Gold Star family. That gets everybody to unite around, negative memories where we're still turning things into lemonade. That's really the other one. And the other one's the Veterinaire program. The Veterinaire program is actually what we're going to talk about today. Every single time I try to focus on it. But first, I try to do what I call the shit show of the week. The shit show of the week is a special focus veteran. That's a story that we gathered sometime with a local veteran. And it's just something that we thought was absolutely hilarious. So this one goes out to Dan Frazier. Dan Frazier is a Master Chief Petty Officer. I'm an Army guy. I don't really know this, but I'm going to try to steal his story. So if I screw up the terminology, please let me know. Believe it or not, me and Dan Frazier actually served together for a while. He ended up in the Navy, and then he joined the Army, and then he went back to the Navy because apparently it's better. I call bullshit, but whatever. It's his story. But either way, I served with Dan Frazier in Hawaii, and then he told me this story. So hopefully I do it some justice. So Dan Frazier. Okay, let me get into the mode. So there I was, 2001, Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. The entire armed forces were upgrading to the secret and top secret networks, where that basically means that fiber optics and line of sight was the only types of communications that could send this. Because of that, like the entire military was rolling out this weird top secret network. Anyways, besides the point. So there I was, and I got a call one day that there was a nuclear powered submarine that for some reason it would go out. Whenever it would go to deploy, for some reason it would lose comms. And we're just like, what in the heck? So, the way how it would work is that first this submarine would hit dry dock and do a communications check. Then it would go out into the harbor and spend one day and then do another comms check. And for some reason, this one always failed. And we're just like, what in the heck? It doesn't make any sense. Like we went through all the paperwork. Everything looks like it's great. But for some reason, as soon as this submarine gets out into the harbor, it can't talk. So I personally went out to this submarine to be like, what in the heck's going on? Let me double check your systems. Let me check your LOS. It's got like a satellite dish that like shoots up out of the mast of the submarine. And what it does is it shoots line of sight. So that way nothing can possibly steal the data. So I check all the systems and it's great. I leave and I go home. And sure enough, that night I get another phone call like, what's going on, retard? It's not good. You said it was good and the submarine can't talk. Okay, whatever. So I go back out there, check the systems, it's all right. And that's when I say, okay, well, let's observe this. Let's actually try to watch this thing while it's in dry dock and figure out what the heck's going on. So I purposely sat there and watched with a pair of binoculars this submarine when it hit the dock and then it went out into the harbor. And I was just wanted to maintain line of sight because I'm like every single time it loses sight. And that's when I saw something that I didn't even think was possible. I see two sailors go up, and they're up on the top deck smoking a cigarette out there in the harbor. They're maybe about an eighth of a mile off. I'm watching it with a pair of binoculars, and I literally see these two sailors talking, and one literally points up, and the other one says, and then the other dude grabs a crescent wrench out of his pocket or a multi-tool and grabs the LOS antenna and unscrews it. And then starts using it like it's a turret weapon against seagulls. Literally, this dude is cooking seagulls out of the sky. Point blank, that is the most Navy shit I've ever heard. Technological superiority with cranial inferiority. I mean, this is what happens when you give absolutely a dude from Baldwin a $500 million piece of equipment. I have to believe that they're from Baldwin because that's the most redneck shit I've ever heard. Like, literally, they used a $500 million piece of equipment to cook seagulls out of the sky. That can only happen in the Navy. Totally cool. Moving on. We also try to focus on a veteranpreneur every week. And I want to do this. If you have a veteran-based business owner, anybody out in the veteran community, if you know that they're a business owner, let me know. I would love to interview them, specifically if they're in Newaygo County. The reason why we're so passionate about veterans in the community, specifically in the business world, is because of that is the easiest way that veterans can reintegrate themselves into civilian society. Let's face it, we're crazy, especially us PTS veterans. It's not that we're not employable, but more often than not, knowing where the veteran-based businesses are simple ways to reintegrate ourselves into society. And then also, we are trained leaders, meaning that we usually do better in business ownership positions. And that's what the Veteranpreneur program is all about. But anyways, if you know of a veteran-owned business in Newaygo County, please let me know. I would love to talk about it. I'm getting a little bit off topic here. I really got to get to what we're talking about here. I need help from my local veteranpreneurs, from my local veteran supportive businesses here for something that I call the bullshit box. As I previously mentioned, we have this thing going on that's called Operation Bullshit. This is where veterans show up in a hyper-aggressive milkman outfit with this Ironwood Ranch Operation Bullshit license plate and a cooler full of non-alcoholic beers, and then we visit other veterans. But what we need local veteran-owned businesses and veteran-friendly businesses, specifically in the bar and restaurant industry, to help us. We want to put 6 of these bullshit boxes out into the wild, and the reason why these are important is because of these allow us to resupply our bullshit artists with their cooler over there without having to drive nearly as far. What happens is this. We will give you one of these boxes. We will equip you with a bunch of these stickers here that say, buy a local veteran a beer for $3. And no, this isn't about fundraising. We could really care less. Moral of the story is we will drop off for $0 a 12-pack of non-alcoholic beers. From then on, you put this near your cash register. And then from then on, people can buy veterans a beer to put in this box. There will also be a roll of masking tape. The clients can write whatever they want on the beer. It can literally say, Marines, don't drink your pee, drink this. It can say Air Force. We know you can't handle your liquor. It's non-alcoholic. Don't worry. It can say thank you for your service. It doesn't really matter what it's about. But what it's about is that it allows my bullshit artists a place to gather non-alcoholic beers somewhere out in the wild. 2, the second thing that it offers is anybody who wants a bullshit box in their place, it shows that your business will be supporting local veterans because a bullshit artist can show up to your restaurant, to your bar, to your whatever, and do a bullshit session right then and there with the beers out of this box without reaching into his pocket or with any zero cost to the veteran. So it gives us a safe place to operate out of. 3, the other thing that it does is that it allows honorary bullshit artists. What I mean by that is anyone can literally, if there's 2, 3, 4 beers in here and you're walking past this box, I don't give a crap if you're a veteran. I don't give a crap if it's your mother, sister, brother, uncle. Think about, is there a veteran in isolation out there? If there is, grab 2 of these, go and visit him and say, hey man, I want to do a foxhole check. Are you doing okay? You squared away? How can I help? Like, veterans isolation is the precursor to all veterans crises. And what I mean by that is PTSD, suicide, alcoholism. The list goes on and on and on and on. If you can prevent isolation, you can prevent 1,000,001 problems. The main reason why we're doing this is to prevent veteran suicide. 17 veterans commit suicide per day. If we can prevent 1 a year in Newaygo County, it is worth doing. But either way, that's what we're doing here. Once again, Randy with Operation Bullshit in the Ironwood Ranch. Shoot me a message if you want to schedule a BS session, or if you have a veteran business owner who you want us to plug, we would be happy to do that. Thanks again. Bye-bye.